Hi everyone. I'd like to spend a few moments really looking into the benefits of knowing your design, the real practical, applicable benefits that you can experience in your life that come from knowing your design. Now, for several decades now, people have focused on the features and said that there are certain, good things that come from this. The ability to make your own decisions and, know that you're an individual, and that's true. But I want to get to what's the consequence of that, and why would you even go for those things anyway? So let's just start off really simply. And I'm going to go through 6 core benefits that come from knowing your design, which is your operating system. Okay. Human design, as it's been taught for the last 30 years, is a manual on your natural operating system as a human being. And really understanding that gives you 6 profound and very down-to-earth and practical benefits. And it doesn't give you these benefits theoretically, it gives them to you practically. And the first one, the beginning of the whole thing, is empowerment. Knowing your design gives you practical access to the power that you have within you, and enables you to live your life in a way that where you can come from the power within you. Then it shows you how you operate. So all this empowerment stuff actually comes down to, and how does that work in the real world? And the thing that comes from that is you discover that you have personal authority. You have an authority within you. You are the author of your reality, or you can be if you exercise this authority that you carry within you. And not just rah, 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 do it, do it, do it, but very practical. This is how it works in you. So you have direct access and the ability to develop and bring out of you that authority that is very personal to you. That then sets you up to do one thing that we're really here to do, probably the first priority of every human life, to enjoy your life. That is a massive benefit from knowing your design, because it gives you the ability to enjoy your life consistently. Not perfectly, not all 100% of the time, not like peaks, but the ability to consistently enjoy your life. And when you're doing that, it then enables you to link up with other people who are enjoying their lives in a way that you can achieve much more with less. And the benefit of that is you have far more options in your life. So the first things are like empowerment. It gives you real access to the power within you. It shows you how you operate, the authority that lies within you, so that you can make the decisions and enjoy your life, and then get together with other people and achieve much more with less, which gives you far greater options than we have now. And it sounds like, oh, more options. I'm talking about way more options than you've ever experienced before. Now, I want to break down some of those. Like empowerment is just, straight up. You just, I need to know how I can be empowered and why my design is so empowering. But when it comes to things like how you operate and the following ones after that, there are benefits within knowing that come from putting this together exactly the way, putting this map, this manual, which human design is, about your operating system, putting it together and understanding all the components. You could call these the chapters in the manual. When you know how you operate, you know how you make a difference. You need to know how you deal with energy. physical energy, mental energy, emotional energy, your instinctive energy, your life force, your will, your sense of identity and direction, how you express your energy. They're important things to really, how you express yourself, they're important energies to know. And then timing, getting the steps right. Which steps in the timing of events are you designed to take the lead in or to do something with? And which steps do you need to lead to other people? What's your unique timing in, the flow of life and in the events and businesses and relationships that you're involved with? And another benefit of knowing how you operate is that not just how you can make a difference and how you can deal with energy and the timing and the steps that you're designed to take, but what you bring to the table. That is a huge benefit. When you don't know it and you do things that aren't really yours, doesn't work, when you do know this, what makes you valuable and what you can contribute. You also need to know your position. I don't mean in a hierarchy, but where you're coming from. What's your position on things? And where does your power, that power to contribute, come from? And when you know how you operate, you know your position, where you come from and your power, the ability you have to contribute to other people. And then there's one last thing you need to know, and that is what's obvious and what's not obvious. All of us have things that are obvious about ourselves, but we also have equally many things that are not obvious that you can tend to overlook. Maybe other people can see them, but you can bring them to the table if you know how to discover the parts of you that aren't obvious in that manual, in that map that I'm talking to you about. Now, the next thing is that personal authority. When you know how you operate, what you discover is that you've got authority as a person. You can make decisions in your own life, about your own life, about what's right for you and what isn't. Now, the benefits, once you know that authority, and what sets you up to know that authority is know where you're turned on. What turns you on, but where you actually are turned on. What actually turns you on, right? And because that shows you another benefit, knowing where you have consistent energy. Because that's what you can rely on for consistency. And the other thing that complements that is to know where you're influenced and where you're supported. Absolutely crucial. Where you struggle and where you fail, because that place of influence and support can be also the place where you struggle and where you fail. But it can also be the place where you receive the most support. And that's a huge benefit to know how you set yourself up to struggle and fail, because then you can discover what to do. What are you actually designed to do? And do that and use where you've normally fallen short in another way, a place where you can receive support. And then it boils down to where this authority comes from. You know what you're here to do, because the benefit of that is you can do it and stop focusing on things where you struggle and fail. But then that decision-making thing is the core of all personal authority. And that you get by knowing what your function is, which is a huge benefit. What are you here? What are you designed to do as a general principle? What's your function? And then you need to know when to decide. The whole thing about decisions can be a complete distraction if you don't know when you have a decision to make. And this map, your design, knowing your design, this manual and this map that human design has produced that you can now use to your benefit, tells you when you actually have a decision to make, as distinct from when you think you have a decision to make or when other people are pressuring you to make decisions. And then it tells you very specifically how you're designed to make decisions in a way that works, that gives you the authority, and it works in the real world. Now, this is crucial. Doesn't matter whether you're a terribly woo-woo person and massively artistic, or an incredibly down-to-earth, practical, skeptical person, or any combination in between. If you can make decisions that work, where you get the energy and the timing right, you're a made person. If you don't know how to make decisions in a way that works for you, you don't have any authority. You're going to struggle. And that lies within you. And this map tells you that one of the benefits, and this is how you get empowered, is through knowing not only when to decide, but how to decide, and know what you're here for. Now that leads to the whole next section of enjoying your life, because when you're making decisions that work for you, it opens the door to enjoying your life. And the keys to being able to do that and to, turn difficulty into an asset is, one, you need to know when you're off track. And this map tells you that. It's a huge benefit. You can tell when you're off track, and you can tell when you're on track. That's as practical as it gets. And you don't have to analyze it. You can trust your experience with that. It will tell you. It's built into your body, into your makeup, to know when you're off track and when you're on track. And you just have to develop an understanding of both of those. And the fact that when you're on track, it's already there. It's not like something you have to learn to achieve. It's already there. But knowing when you're off track is equally as valuable, because that tells you when you're drifting, and then you can allow your design to correct itself. Huge. Knowing how to stop things that are leading you to not enjoying your life. To pick up when you're drifting and then easily and elegantly come back on track. Allow your design to take you there, rather than spend months and years of your life trying to fix it, which keeps taking you off track in the vast majority of cases. Now, another thing you need to know to enjoy your life is what's predictable about you. We all have predictable tendencies. And you need also to know where your expertise lies. Every one of us has an area of purpose and expertise. And if you know that, what's predictable about me, what's predictable about my friends, it's far easier to enjoy accepting yourself and accepting them. And when you know your expertise, you know what you can focus on. Also, collaboration. If you're going to enjoy your life, you're going to need to learn to collaborate. And collaboration is one of the benefits of knowing your design. Just like knowing your expertise, knowing what's predictable, knowing when you're off track and on track. These are benefits of your design. Well, knowing how to collaborate with people who are very different than you. Huge, without compromising your uniqueness as an individual. To have both, the best of both worlds. And the other two things you need to enjoy your life is the ability to walk your talk. Knowing your design gives you that. Knowing your design gives you the information to do that. Living your design, really applying it in real life. See, one of the great benefits of this is that it doesn't really work unless you actually apply it in your real life, because it's about living in a human body in the real world. While you're in a human body, learning how to enjoy your life. So if you're not sure how to walk your talk, it'll show you and then give you the experiences that'll help you get in tune with that and be able to just walk your talk, whatever that means for you. Not according to some concept in a movie, but according to the reality in your life. And then the real bomb when it comes to enjoying your life, getting the timing right. Getting the timing right is crucial. Right timing, dating, dancing, launching an IPO, doing things when you've got the energy, getting the timing right, the importance of timing's everything. And that's a huge benefit that you get out of knowing your design, because it tunes you into, through your decision making, through living as yourself, and that to timing, and really turning time from an enemy or an obstacle or a resistance into an ally and a friend and a partner. Now, at that stage, it's about, okay, you know how to be yourself, but what about working with others? Because working with others enables you to do much more with far less effort. Creating fantastic teams. It's a huge form of leverage. And so the benefit of this is to know how to work together. Being together, working together, loving together, creating a business together, raising a family together, building a community, working out political issues. It works so much better when we know how to work together. And this, knowing your design, is a key, because within that there are keys to various options that you have. Remember, I said this is going to give you, pardon me, far more options. Well, within your design is the ability of the option of working with people who are really different than you, and nobody loses. In fact, it creates real synergy, not because you're all on the same page intellectually or philosophically or even color or number of legs or anything. Having that capacity to understand how you can be true to yourself and make a decision that really works for other people simultaneously, and then bringing them together. And to do that, there are two major options. One of the options is what I call core teams, the benefit of core teams. The benefit of 3 to 5 people working together, because they create a unique entity. It's a very powerful form of leverage, an effective way of doing much more with less. And these core teams have one great ability. They accelerate every individual and every person's ability to contribute to humanity. If you're the type of person who really wants to contribute something to humanity, these core teams, these small 3 to 5 people teams, are incredible at doing that. Every time you get together, the 3, 4 or 5 of you can, the potential is there. All you have to do is access it, because it's all there to contribute to humanity. Get the right people together at the right time, bingo. It's just waiting to be, and we've occasionally seen it, but so many times missed the boat. Now, beyond that, there are larger teams. I call them powerful teams, because they're more like, large families or businesses or communities. And this is where you've got 9 to 16 people working together. And they combine several core teams, but they can go to a whole new level where it's not so much about contributing to humanity, but the real benefit of this team, apart from the fact it energizes and empowers every individual in it, when you really understand how it works, it does everything that we've talked about as a benefit and takes it to a whole new level when it's done right. And at the same time, you don't lose your individuality, but you're able to step into a whole new level of operating and doing things that adds to your individuality. And that is sustainable satisfaction. Powerful teams, the great benefit of them is they can create satisfaction in a sustainable manner. Even if satisfaction isn't your big thing, the team, the group of you can feel really satisfied. You see this in sports when a team has really hit their straps. Bingo, and they walk off the field satisfied. Doesn't matter who's the star and who's got the biggest ego, and it's like there's that oneness, that feeling of satisfaction. Understanding how powerful teams operate and consciously developing that and building them, that leads to sustainable satisfaction. That's what a true business is about. An investment company, a community, a large family. That's its potential. And so often we've missed the boat there as well. Well, there's no need to do that anymore. And the last benefit that comes out of doing much more with less is you understand the true power of teams. Synergy isn't just a word or something you experience briefly in your life or occasionally when you do a video. It becomes sustainable, consistent, a daily experience. And for consistent periods during that day. This is where you have businesses where everyone loves to go to work, where everyone enjoys being together, where they bring home from that the satisfaction to their families. Team power is something we've only just scratched the surface of. And that's what gives us more options as individuals, but more options together. This is what opens up whole new dimensions. We've had glimpses of it throughout history, in our lives now. You go onto YouTube and you look at the inspirational videos, you see glimpses of it. This is about creating it on a large scale, mainstream, consistent. Not as an ideal, not as just a dream and a vision that doesn't actually click when it comes to real life. This is about bringing it into mainstream, real life, everyday experience. That's a huge benefit. To take that empowerment all the way through to greater options. Knowing how you operate, knowing more and more about your personal authority and how to enjoy your life and how to create so much more with less. That's amazing stuff. And it's so practical. And all of these are built into understanding and living, applying your design. Now, one of those may have jumped out. And even within that, there are so many benefits. My business partner, Daryl, the big thing for him was realizing he had nothing to prove. That was like a huge benefit for him in his life. For me, it was like, if I'm not in satisfaction, I'm disconnected from my true self. Not that I have to achieve it, I am it. And that's the place to stay. That's the place to live. That's the place to come from, to give from. That's the place to find my energy from. Having nothing to prove. Really getting that, knowing that satisfaction is a huge part of life. Not an occasional experience, but something, hey, we've got a human body. We're living in this life. We've got this life. The breath is coming in. My God, what else do you need to be satisfied? Well, of course, we like other things and we want other things. You need food, you need air, but damn, it's provided. And so realizing that, how much further can it be taken? When people are experiencing real satisfaction that they've got nothing to prove, unless that's part of your design, that you've got something here you really need to do, and but that you can get clear on. And that's a huge benefit of knowing your design. It's not learn the theory, learn the jargon, read the manuscript. It's not about that. It's about realize this thing tells you about your operating system, and knowing how that operates and how to enjoy it is a huge benefit that brings so many other benefits with it. So if you want to know more, or you want to check this out, because we've done a whole program that covers each of these benefits, you can go to Team Power, TEAMPOWER .business, teampower.business, www.teampower.business. Hope you've enjoyed this. Let it into your body. You know, this is not for this. It's like, wow, knowing what to do, how I function. How would my body feel about that? How would I feel emotionally about that? You know, how much satisfaction would that bring me? I've got nothing to prove, but I've got so much to discover and to share. What would that do? Take it in that way, and then realize that understanding, appreciating, living your design is a huge benefit that's available to you now. Hope we get to talk soon. Take care.